a look at the quality of these roads. It is just absolutely ridiculous. So many things are just falling apart around us. You know, it's just dangerous. The depth of the potholes, how rough the roads are, apparently full of water, so it pulls the vehicle around all over the joint. Of course, you've got puddles there that some of them are 2 or 3 inches deep. And it doesn't even matter what road I'm on, name the highway, because there's so many roads like this in the New South Wales, Queensland outback would probably be the two that I'd pick as being the two worst states. The main highway, Sydney to Brisbane, Melbourne, you know, the Hume and all that, no worries, but these roads are outright dangerous. Well, let's have a bit of a chit chat about the water, the puddles, aquaplaning, what speed is the vehicle going to aquaplane, and all that sort of thing. And I'm not an expert on this one. There's going to be a lot of physics involved, and it's something that I don't know about. I know a bit about some things, but this is one of the things I don't know. You know, it's a bit like tyre pressures. How fast can you go at what pressure and all that, where I'd say I'm probably better at that one than how fast you can go with which vehicle on which tyre and what tyre pressure on what depth of puddle and all that sort of thing. So the road's a bit better now, so that's why I decided to continue on a little bit. And I've been doing a lot of aquaplaning. And when it first happens to you when you're driving, I suppose, you know, you get your license, you're driving, you didn't experience, and then one dark night you're driving down the freeway and there's all these puddles. And look, that's what happened to me the first time I experienced it. It was like, oh wow, okay, cool, and you're just skating across the top of the water. So since then I've experienced a number of times accidental or on purpose, you know, obviously depending what speed you're travelling at, how deep the puddle is, what tyres, what vehicle, all that sort of thing. But yeah, this road is absolute rubbish, like most of the roads out here, going downhill rapidly. And looking at the amount of signs they normally put on roads saying slow down, and they close sections and make it one lane and all that, I don't know how they do that on some roads and then not on these roads, because these roads are a lot worse than those roads. But don't tell anyone, because they'll just close them, and then what will you be doing? You'll be staying in your 15-minute cities. Bada bing, bada boom, hint, hint. Anyway, for those that watch the videos, you might want to subscribe and turn the bell on. We've got to be careful what we say though, because that's why they don't share these videos too much, so it's up to you guys. But this is absolutely all over the joint, and you probably get more water in the vehicle driving down here than you do doing a high country river crossing, because there's that much pressure coming off when you hit those puddles. Whoa, can you hear it hitting under the floor pan of the car? When you hit those puddles, and they're the smaller ones, it comes up and hits the floor that hard, you could actually pop one of your grommets out, and then you're going to start filling up your car with water with all the next big puddles. I'm just going to keep an eye. We've got a car either stopped up here on or off the road, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be pulling off this road at the moment. I don't know if the rain started, but there was a big thunderstorm and the rain started last night. Oh no, here we go. Police. So there you go. That's what's going on there. Crazy roads, man. And there they are. The police looking at the roads. They're probably thinking, man, this is dangerous. As I went past, you know, cars darting left and right all over the joint, you know, unreal. So yeah, aquaplaning, it's a pretty dangerous thing, especially on a road like this, because when I started the videos, as I said, you know, you saw trucks coming the other way. You don't want to be getting caught up with your steering, getting pulled left and right. Like, it's just all over the joint. It's just, the road is terrible. Yeah, I can't get over how bad it is and how people are allowed to drive on here. Lucky not too many people do drive here, and probably the people that know how to drive maybe are the only ones that come out here. Either that or we're being lucky, so they're cool, got that in the windscreen. So I don't know if you get the picture. I don't know how it feels to you. Let me know in the comments, you know, just coming for a drive with me in that camera there, what it's it's like for you. Now, I've got a windscreen wiper shuddering a little bit. It was shuddering the other way, and I gave it a bit of a tweak, and I think I've gone too far now. It's shuddering the other way. So next shelter, I'll stop and give it a tweak the other way. And how to fix that will be in another video. So subscribe, turn the bell on if you don't want to miss it. If you've got those annoying shuddering windscreen wipers, generally you don't need to go and buy anything. I'll explain it. I'll do a video on it. It won't be today though, because I'm not standing out in the rain. At the next shelter, I'll give it a twist. There's your hint. Right now, aquaplaning puddles. These roads are ridiculous. So what do? Well, one of the things I do at the moment, I'm just driving down the middle of the road, the middle of my lane, not the middle of the road, because I want to sort of demonstrate, you know. And look, you got to watch out cars coming the other way, because depending what vehicle it is, what tyres they've got, what driver they are, how alert they are, if they're prepared, is it the first puddle they're about to hit? Because I've hit quite a few, and it just seems like it really pulls the vehicle around a lot, you know. I mean, they're quite deep puddles, and they're usually on one side or the other, which I don't know if that's good or bad. But this is my experience with aquaplaning anyway. Lots of different vehicles, lots of different tyre tread depth, lots of different speeds. But what I think I've learnt from it all is slow down. What I mean is, about 100 seems to be the magic number. So if you don't want to be aquaplaning, now there's a lot, like I said, there's going to be a lot of physics involved. Any of those scientists that are watching that want to do some mathematics, just because it's in the comments, people, doesn't mean it's right, but sometimes it is. So let's have a look and see what people come up with, you know. Tyre size, tyre depth, speed, weight of the vehicle, all this sort of thing, right? But I've found 100's the magic number. So if you're doing 100 plus, you're much more likely to go straight across the top of the water. That's what aquaplaning is. You're literally planing or skiing across the top of the water. Sometimes the vehicle does that. Sometimes, because you've got tread depth, it cuts through the water and it cuts in and it goes down through the water to the bottom of the puddle perhaps, so you can maintain your traction with the road somewhat. And that's obviously what's happening when the tyres are dropping the puddles and the car's going left and right all over the joint. Because if you skim straight over the top, it just keeps going straight. You've got no steering and no braking. You've got nothing. When you're on top of the water, you've got nothing, and because the vehicle has momentum, it can take a bit of time for it to slow down. So that's what I'm saying. If you're doing 110, 120, 100, 110, 120, thereabouts, definitely much higher risk of aquaplaning. And if you've got a bend in the road and you're aquaplaning, you're going to be unable to correct that. And what you need to be aware of is you don't want to be like turning your steering a lot, trying to correct it, because it's not going to work. And then when it does grip up, you might do a U-turn, and that would be bad. So you really need to be gentle on the steering, small corrections. Disclaimer, this is not driving lessons 101, it's driving tips if you want to learn a bit of extra info, a few tips to help, but I'm not teaching you how to drive. You might do an advanced driver course, but a lot of those people, yeah, they're okay. You probably learn something from it anyway, but a lot of kind of old school and different ideas, let's just say, a bit like a full drive course. It's good. Look, if you've got no idea, if you put yourself in that category, I think it can only help. Just not everything they teach you is 100%, well, I won't say accurate, but agreeable. But what I do a lot of the time, I move left and right, I dodge the puddles, take into account what's always, look in your mirrors like you're meant to regularly know what's going on. Is someone coming past you, oncoming vehicles, have a look what puddles they've got on the road before you decide where you're going to position yourself. Bada bing, right? So look, under 100 I think you're a lot safer, and around 80 k's is a lot better than 110. I'm not saying everyone should drive around 80 k's, but you've got to check the condition yourself. Like here we are, the road's better here than it was, you know, back on the other spot, like just back there. It's definitely better. It's still rubbish, right? Okay, it's the Cunningham Highway, the Goondiwindi, heading towards, well, in the long run, Warwick, couple hundred k's to Warwick. Right, it's the old school way we used to go. There's been patchworks done over the years. I mean, we've been driving up and down here over 30 years. It's never really been much chop, but at one stage when they did it and fixed it up, it was quite good. I've been through here when it's flooded, there's water running across all the roads, and the creeks are flooded, 400 mil, 800 mil deep. Won't tell you the outcome hey, when I did it, I didn't have that much experience, and I probably should have never went past the 400, and then I wouldn't have had to go on back when it was 800. But we survived, and it's all good. Just had to take the carpet out of the car and hang it up. That was a Subaru WRX. Anyway, enough chit chat. So aquaplaning, slow down. You got no steering, no braking. Just think of it, you're on top of the water. It's like you're skiing. You're just skiing down the road. That's what it is basically. You're just skiing down the road. So what I do, I try and look. I'll look at the road here. I go, there's nothing behind me. There's nothing oncoming. And you see everybody drives in the same spot. That's where the ruts are worn in. Whatever. I drive like this. I'm on top of the line with the right tyre. Right, it's a good road surface. It's nice and high and dry. Puts my left tyre in between where everyone else drives, which is high and dry. It's quite often a good road surface, but you can get bits of bitumen pushed up, and it's like a hill in the middle of the road. You've got to be aware of that, because depending on your vehicle and your tyres, what it does, it would throw you around a bit anyway. So I think this works in any country, but hey, in your country, I know there's people from all over the place. Let us know where you are and what are the roads like. You got plenty of roads worse than this, or are you horrified to see anything like it? It seems to have sort of come good now. We're coming into a little area here, town starting with the name of I. Who can tell me what it is? It's about to come up on the blue sign. Oh no, we're not there yet. No, this is Yellowbon. How do you say that? Yellowbon? 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 Yellow? Or Bonsky? Right, anyway. There's a place coming up starting with I, and that would be Inglewood. Bada bing, bada boom. This one we just over the railway. Never trust the lights and the boom gates. Always look for trains. Never trust them. Right, dead quiet here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's it. Bit of chit chat, bit of a safety chit chat. Look at these roads. I mean, they've even got red markers there for the. It's just lumpy roads. They're just rubbish. Anyway. That's enough chit chat. Catch you in the next video.